everybody, welcome to today's reading. So what I'm going to do today is to assess the past life love story that you may have had with your divine counterpart, a future spouse, or that romantic partner that you're hoping for to come into your life. So I want to assess this romantic love energy that you can bring forth from your past life, so that perhaps in your present life, as you assess the story or symbols associated with the story, you can bring this energy into your consciousness and manifest the love that you want into your life. So again, take this story that I am going to recount at the level of its symbolic meaning, or see it as an archetype for what your soul understands, for what your soul has in its memory bank, or what your soul remembers about true love and how a love story plays out. For today, we have three groups again to choose from, and they're represented by different seashells. You'll notice that today's theme is mainly a theme surrounding the ocean, seashells, and water. So I want to bring in that water element into today's reading, and I'm using the seashells as a representation. So going back to our groups, we have three groups to choose from. This will be group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. I'm just going to bring the seashells up closer to the camera for you to have a look. So this is group number 1. Group number 2. And group number 3. So please decide which group resonates with you. You can choose more than one if you feel so inclined, and I'll see you at your reading. Hello group 1, welcome to your reading. So let's take a look at your story. You have here the relics of Lemuria. The mother awakens. Okay, probably won't be able to see it. So I'm just going to lay them flat onto the surface. Here you have birds, the Hierophant, 10 of Cups, 6 of Wands, the Star, King of Swords, and 5 of Pentacles. Okay, let me connect with your story. So I feel that the love story that your soul wishes to bring into your consciousness through this reading is a story that took place a very long time ago. This probably took place in the prehistoric times. Actually, this is going to be a story that took place even before human civilization was able to flourish on the earth. So because I'm really connecting with the Lemuria card and the Mother Awakens, I feel that the story probably took place during the times of Lemuria on Earth. So if you've read a little about the older civilizations that came before human civilization, so the first peoples who came onto the Earth, they formed the civilization that is on the lost continent of Lemuria. This is the time where the story took place, and I'm feeling that this story might actually took place near the end of Lemuria. So towards the end, where there might have been a lot of abrupt changes that happened, a lot of different catastrophes that happened on Earth, forcing these people of Lemuria to seek out other places, and that's when a lot of them actually moved to the continent of Atlantis, or to the civilization of Atlantis. So this is probably around that time period, I feel, where your story took place. I feel that you may have been somebody who was running away from Lemuria towards this new land, towards Atlantis, And there was a period of time where you were very much an outcast in this new civilization. So it wasn't as if the people there didn't welcome you, but you lost your home, and perhaps some of you might have lost your family as well, family and friends, and you were feeling very much alone, very much alienated from the life that you once knew, from the world that you once knew. And you were in this completely new place, um, a completely new environment where people didn't really understand your ways or the culture that you were coming from. I feel that you also had to meet a lot of different people from different kinds of, from all walks of life, in terms of energies, in terms of the galactic origins, so the places in the galaxy where they came from. So in the past, your life was really very much peaceful. You were in this little paradise where you knew everybody, and then suddenly you're thrust into this land where you didn't know anybody, and the culture was foreign. It was so much more cosmopolitan than the life you once knew. There were so many different kinds of energies, different kinds of beings that were in this new land. And for a while, I feel that you were feeling very lost and alone and probably isolated from society. I feel that for you, this true love that came in, he was probably, I feel that this true love, this counterpart, so it feels like this person, he is more of the masculine energy, so I'm using the pronoun he. I feel that he was probably somebody from Atlantis, so somebody who was already quite established in that society. So at least he had family, he had friends, he knew his way around this culture, this civilization. And I feel that the civilization was very much one that it's more about structure, it is more about creating certain systems and letting these systems take place in their in the in their lives. So this was a more structured, rigid kind of lifestyle compared to the one that you once knew, which was a lot more flowy, a lot more free, and there was just a lot more allowance for a free flowing kind of energy coming from its people. So definitely, I feel like coming into this new culture, there was that huge contrast in terms of the lifestyle. But what happened between you and your divine counterpart, or this divine counterpart energy? I feel like it was very much a coming together of two different worlds where you were able to show that person a lot of hope, a lot of love and positivity in through your energy and in the kinds of energy that you embody. So I feel that the Lemurians, they were probably more lighthearted, very positive, very kind and gentle. You were like the star, somewhat like a symbol, a messenger, or a personification of what divine goodness is. So I feel that for you, you were like a star, a beautiful maiden to that person. They saw you really as their hearts, their true love. I feel that you were able to show them the way to the divine, the way towards goodness. So bringing them closer to what it means to be connected to the divine. I feel that this person, definitely, they were somebody who was more grounded into the Atlantean society. So they probably had some kind of social standing. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be somebody in the leadership position. I feel like they were somebody who, at least in the society where they belonged to, they were somebody who was very successful, and somebody who had status, who had money or resources, who had power. So somebody who really was a contrast to who you were. So somebody who belongs to that society, in contrast to how you were feeling isolated, feeling alone, feeling like an outsider. But I feel like it was really the coming of you two in this very beautiful partnership. So the coming of the two of you, one being very grounded in society and the other being very connected to the divine. So see how her leg is in the water? I feel that this is a symbol of you being very connected to the divine, and how she's also partially naked. So again, I feel like this is representative of the Lemurian culture, where you were very open, very honest to others, and you were just not afraid to be vulnerable, to really show yourself, as opposed to, you know, somebody from the Atlantis culture, where they were a lot more, you know, rigid. They were more armored up. But I feel like you were able to appreciate the goodness and the power, the strength of each other. So through you, they were able to connect to softer and lighter energies, and through this person you were also able to more fully integrate into Atlantean culture. I feel that you also probably saw them as some kind of savior who was able to improve your life, to help you integrate into this new world and to protect you. I feel that this person was definitely very, very protective of you. They saw you as a precious being, a precious treasure to protect. I feel like this person saw you as their heart. So they knew that you were probably less worldly compared to them, but it was because they saw how true you were, how genuine you were, and they really appreciated your culture, the Lemurian culture, and they wanted to learn from you. So I feel like you were able to come in this beautiful partnership together, in this beautiful love story where there was a beautiful happily ever after. um, this was really a coming together of two cultures forming a new family, having hopes for the future, hopes symbolized by the rainbow. And I feel that your soul wants to tell you the story to let you know that this all happened actually as part of a divine plan. So even if you were an outsider, even if your circumstances felt very dire, it feels like your old life had fallen apart and you were forced to readjust to a new life, a new system, a new way of being. But there's a sense that the divine has actually played a hand in letting this sequence of events actually unfold in your life so that you could find love meeting the opposite of who you were as a soul, as a personality. You were able to find love all the way across the seas, in a different culture, in a different land, and possibly with somebody from a very different galactic system. But all these didn't matter because you were able to come together and appreciate each other and come to a beautiful union where you were able to blend your energies and create something new, create a family together. So actually, let's take a further look at the significance of the story. If there's any other message your soul wants you to take away from the story, why this love was part of your soul's experience, and what kinds of energy it contributed to the evolution, to the ascension of your soul. Okay, so let's see here. You have the mother praise. Okay, another reference to the mother here. Woman of light. Wow. Okay, so I feel that what this love story is trying to let you know, first of all, is how important your divine feminine energy is in lighting up the heart, in lighting up the heart space of your divine masculine energy. So again, see how there's this rainbow here that's going through this pathway, this doorway, and it's positioned right at where the heart is supposed to be. So I feel that these two cards are really referencing the lights that you had as a Lemurian, the lights that you had, that you brought with you to this new world, to this new culture. It was a very beautiful light, and it was really able to show the way for your masculine divine counterpart to 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 be guided to you, to be guided after they meet you. So it doesn't matter if they were very technologically advanced, if it feels like they have everything that they needed, if it feels like, if it feels like they were materially more well off. What these cards are saying is that your feminine energy, even if it's invisible, so the energy, the light energy that is within you, even if that kind of energy is invisible to the physical eye, it was still a very important element, a very important energy that was able to bring light to the world of the divine masculine and help lead them onto the right path, lead them forward to the path that they are meant to go on to. This story is also very much about learning to trust in the divine order, to trust in the divine plan, and know that no matter how much you want to get things done as a physical being, no matter how able or powerful you are, it is through being guided by the light of the divine and of the divine feminine that you're more able to utilize the resources and the power of your divine masculine self. So far I have been describing the internal workings or the internal relationship, internal partnership that you may have between your masculine and your feminine self, but all these are actually also projected into your world, into your love story. So by following your heart and acting accordingly to what you're guided to do, you're putting resources and power into the guidance that is inspiring you. And if you identify as that feminine energy, what you're also doing is inspiring your masculine energy, your masculine counterpart to do the same, to look at you and be inspired by your energy, to put their power and resources into where you inspire them to do so. So this story is actually illustrating that the power of your divine feminine self is equally matched by the power of your divine masculine self. And this power doesn't have to be something that is necessarily visible in the very tangible physical sense. So your invisible powers are just as important as the external powers or the external resources that you have. And there is a balance in the power between the masculine and the feminine, even if on the surface it doesn't look that way. So to end your reading, I'm also getting a message that is coming through from the divine masculine, and you can also take this as a message from your masculine self. And what they're saying is that they want you to acknowledge the beautiful lights that you have within your heart and allow yourself to be more in touch with this light, to feel more powerful within, to have more confidence in your own energy and the power of your energy, because this energy, even if it is invisible, it is a very powerful source of light that is able to drive the masculine forward and guide the masculine forward towards where they need to go. So I feel that I have been speaking a lot about the masculine versus the feminine, but do take note that this doesn't necessarily have to refer to the physical vessel. This is really very much referring to the energy. So you can also try to look at this from the perspective of how your masculine energy is being guided by the feminine energy of your divine counterpart. So imagine connecting to the divine feminine energy of your divine counterpart and being inspired by this energy to do what you want to do on a masculine physical level. So this also applies in this way So it doesn't necessarily have to refer to the physical vessel or your physical form. Okay, group one, I feel that this is all I have for you. I hope that the story was interesting, and I hope to see you in my other videos. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hello, group two. Welcome to your reading. So let's take a look at your story. So you have here The Secret of Camelot, Rider, Cross. Okay, I feel like we're already getting a lot of medieval energies here. Let's take a look at your tarot. Nine of Swords, the World, the Fool, Two of Swords, Four of Wands, and the Three of Cups. So I feel that setting aside all the imageries of King Arthur, of the early British history, and perhaps this could actually just be a reference to medieval legends, but setting all these aside with the rider representing the knight and the cross, Christianity, I feel drawn to talk about your tarot cards first of all. I feel that so turbulence was a word that came into my head. I feel that there was turbulence in your world, in the world that you lived in, but somehow you managed to find a spot of peace and quiet for yourself. It could be that you were living within the confines of a relatively peaceful castle or land, or it could be that you were part of nobility or royalty. So I am really getting a lot of medieval 11th to 15th century kind of feel here from the energies that I'm seeing in my head. So this doesn't feel so much like the 5th or the 6th century where supposedly King Arthur originated from. I am feeling this is more of a medieval period story, and this is obviously based in Europe. So it doesn't really feel like it has to be Britain, but the energy feels very European. It feels European medieval. So I'm really seeing a very light, beautiful fields of flowers in my head right now. I'm seeing a blonde woman, a very um, pale blonde woman with a very beautiful wreath of flowers on her head. I see her really twirling in this field, and everywhere feels very light, very sunny, very nice and beautiful. Um, so as I'm speaking now, I'm seeing a figure walk towards her, and they're very happily meeting with each other. So this is a male figure with brown hair. He is a little taller than her. He looks very youthful, so perhaps a little older. I am getting the information that he was a knight. Now he's taking her hand and they're talking. They are smiling very happily. It feels as if he has to, so in the near future, from the scene that I am seeing in my head, he will have to go away somewhere to war because he is a knight. So there's some kind of war or expedition that he was going to go on to, but right now they're very happy and peaceful together. Right now I have my eyes opened and immediately I'm looking at the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands. I feel that these two cards were probably um, the energies that I was seeing in my head just now. So this probably has to do with the Crusades and knights going away to take part in the crusade or to spread Christianity. And perhaps the blonde woman that I saw in my head is really inspired by this blonde woman here in this card. So this is the feminine energy that I was seeing. And definitely in this card, she feels very much alone, very forlorn, very, there's a kind of sadness in the energy that she is in, which is a big contrast to the image that I saw in my head. So let me connect a little more to see the rest of the story, how it unfolded. I feel that your soul, the story that your soul is bringing into your consciousness, is a story that doesn't have a resolution yet, but for some reason they would like to bring the energy of the story to your consciousness, perhaps because it pertains to some of the wounds that you have surrounding love, surrounding relationships, or romantic love. I feel that in your story, what happened was that there was a lot of happiness and enthusiasm, a lot of youthful energy, youthful innocence surrounding your love. But then the reality of the world kind of sets in and disrupted the peace in your love and your relationship. So, like I've mentioned earlier, the masculine energy who I saw as a knight had to go away on war and expeditions. I feel that he was definitely unwilling to part and to leave behind the feminine energy. But then this was the way it was in the society that they were in. And the feminine energy, I feel like she was very encouraging of all these things that the masculine had to do. She really provided a lot of love, a lot of strength, a lot of light for him to move forward on his path. Um, I am really seeing that the masculine energy left for the things that he had to do with the blessings and the love of the feminine energy. And for a while, I feel that he was really, holding her in his heart as he went on his adventures, as he journeyed on into new lands. But then, as he continued his exploration, I feel like these explorations also affected his innocent and youthful outlook on life. I feel that he gathered some darkness in his experiences that really haunted him, really caused him a lot of pain and distress. And I feel like because psychically the two of them are really linked and connected, the feminine, even though she remained in the safety of her castle or her land, she was also affected emotionally by the things that the masculine was experiencing. And I feel that I am seeing really her field of gold light. Her field of golden light actually started darkening right now. In my head, there is a depression I feel that was looming within her. The depression came in not so much because the masculine energy left, but because of that psychic bond that they have between the two of them, and her psychically sensing all the darkness that the masculine energy had absorbed into his being, the darkness that the masculine energy had experienced. And this caused a lot of pain also for the feminine energy, even though on the material level she was very comfortable and she was living in safety. So let me continue on to see where the story eventually leads to and what kind of significance your soul is actually trying to bring out from the story. Okay, I am feeling very touched here. I actually feel some tears that is coming into my eyes. There's a message here from the two energies, so both the masculine and the feminine. I feel that I see a lot of love that is flowing from the feminine to the masculine, and I feel the masculine actually being healed and being very much touched and embraced by the love of the feminine. I feel that they're saying no matter the distance between them, no matter how hard life got for them, their love always bonded them. Their love always pulled them to each other. The reason why I said that your story may not have a resolution yet is because in that lifetime, I don't think that the two of them were able to meet again. Probably because the masculine died overseas or he was taken far away from the feminine, and somehow there was an interruption to their relationship, not because they didn't love each other, but because life put them apart. Circumstances, I really do see that it was a separation caused by something that was irreversible, something like death, like definitely irreversible, not irreversible in a very in the societal sense, but really irreversible in the physical sense, where they were just not able to come together again. So either the feminine died or the masculine died, but somehow after their beautiful encounter, their beautiful relationship during their youth, they were not able to come together later in life. Okay, so I'm getting a message that because there feels like a lack of resolution in your story in that lifetime, so it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly the story that I've just recounted. Like I've mentioned, this could be symbolic, it could be an archetype. Some details might be different, but there was a separation, and this separation wasn't because of a lack of love on both sides. There is a sadness in your soul, and there is a fear that you're never going to see your divine counterpart again. There's also some kind of compulsion within your psyche, your soul, of needing to search far and wide for this person, feeling like they're very far away, feeling that they're very out of reach for you. And I feel that this is a wound, an energetic wound that you will have to heal, because this experience in the past life has already happened. It was just an experience, and you don't have to keep holding on to this energy again in this lifetime. You have to let go of this energy, this fear that you're never ever going to see this person again, or this fear that you will be pulled apart and prevented from reuniting. You have to let go of this fear. If this story resonated for you, and now that you have it as a story in your consciousness, you can do some energy work on it in whichever way that is familiar to you. So if you practice Reiki, you can try Reikiing this part of yourself, or you can try writing a story, journaling, or seeing what comes up in your subconscious, and then feel your way into an alternate ending for the story. I think this would be very healing for you. I feel that this person can definitely come back into your life in this lifetime, or this person also wants to, I feel like they're also having the same kind of energetic wound. But no matter the case, if we just look at these two energies as um, the masculine and the feminine parts of yourself, so that you can not look too much outside of yourself. See this play, this interaction of the masculine and the feminine energies that is working within yourself. What you can do to heal this wound, this story, is to give space for the feminine energy within yourself to speak, to express herself, and to allow your masculine powers, so the powers that you direct outwards into the world, the physical, tangible powers that you use in your everyday life, let these powers, energies, let yourself be driven by how you truly want to feel inside, by what your heart truly desires. So you can let go of feeling obligated to do things that society requires of you, or do things that other people requires of you, and tune into your heart and do what you really, really want. So by working first with the masculine and feminine energies within yourself, I feel that you'll be able to heal this wound that you have from this past life, or the symbolic story that is within your soul. And your healing is going to help move you forward, away from this energy that is haunting you, if the story resonated. So to finish off your reading, I am going to take a look at any other messages your soul may want to illuminate us on about the story, any message that they have for you, um, any important takeaway message or lessons. Okay, so the back of the deck here says self-initiation. Definitely one way to heal the story is by starting with yourself, starting within, by bringing your masculine energy, your internal masculine energy, and your internal feminine energy together, so that you're no longer apart, so that you are directing your masculine energies into fulfilling the desires of your feminine energies. You have here man of the earth, woman of the sky, and the mother prays. There are a few messages that I'm getting from these cards. The first is that definitely divine energy and your spiritual team, your guides, the angels, and actually I do feel this is God himself. So at the God level, there is a lot of healing that is being downloaded to you, to your counterpart, to you within, so that you can heal this dynamic that you have between your masculine and your feminine energies. I feel like definitely this is very powerful. It's almost as if God himself is trying to orchestrate events, bring people to you, bring situations to you, help you come into some kind of resolution this lifetime concerning this dynamic that we've just described through your story. So do you know that you're being helped? There are a lot of guides and angels around you, so many beings beyond the normal spirit guides and the angelic team. I feel like they're even ancestors, tribal gods and goddesses, or mythical gods and goddesses. So depending on who you are and where you are from, your soul heritage, your human heritage, I feel that there are many energies trying to help you heal at this time. So you should be aware of this and connect to these healing energies. So it would be different for different people depending on which energy feels most familiar to you, but do keep an eye out for these healing energies are trying to come through to you. Really want to reassure you that there is a lot of healing that is happening at this moment, that is happening right now, being downloaded even on the very global scale into the earth, so that you can heal from this. I feel like this is a story, an archetype that is in a lot of people's psyche, that is affecting a lot of people. So there is a lot of massive healing that is happening on the global scale at this moment. With the man of the earth and woman of the sky, I feel like this card is a message coming from your soul and the soul of your counterpart, saying that you and your true love are never really apart from each other, and that you're very much alike, very much linked, psychically, spiritually. You complement each other very much, very, very well. And feel like once you see this person, you will really be able to recognize them. There's going to be this very comfortable feeling of recognition, of familiarity. So even if there might be, initial discomfort just because you're two strangers meeting each other, if you haven't met that person already, two strangers meeting each other, you coming from, different life experiences in this lifetime, or even different cultures, different groups in society, so different backgrounds. I feel like you're really going to feel that you can be at peace in your heart. You can completely be yourself. And when you're able to do so, that person is also able to relax into himself. And when you're both relaxed into yourselves, you will find that you're able to come together very nicely, very harmoniously. I feel that you will also be able to re-experience that initial beautiful relationship that you had with each other, that very loving, very youthful, innocent, happy, lighthearted kind of relationship that I described at the beginning of the reading. I feel like you're definitely going to be able to experience that again when you come together. This card is really trying to let you know that this person is somebody that you can feel relaxed around, and this person is really somebody who is going to be your match at the highest vibration. So you can fall into a feeling of love and safety and comfort within yourself, and know that it is okay to love and be comfortable within yourself, because this is where this person is going to meet you. You don't need to be anybody else. You don't need to pretend to be someone that you're not, because this person has only pure love for you. No matter who you are and no matter where you are, they're able to see the light in you, even if others are not able to see them, and even if you might be blinded to them. So it is encouraged for you, aside from learning to balance that masculine and feminine energies within, to also connect with a higher level of love for yourself, because that's how that person feels about you. When the two of you come together, when the two of you meet, it's going to feel like coming home. It's going to feel like a big relief, and it's going to feel so natural and so true. Okay, group 2, this is all I have for you. I hope that you found the reading interesting and helpful, and I hope to see you in my other videos. Bye! Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So by the time that I got to your reading, it is already quite dark outside, so you'll notice that the lighting is a little different because I have turned on the lights in my room. The second thing is that for your reading, for some reason I was drawn to pick cards from a different tarot deck than the one that I have used for the previous 2 readings. So this is the only other difference. So without further ado, let's get right to your story. You have here 5 of Swords, the Hermit, 6 of Wands, Hierophant, the Star, and 8 of Pentacles in reverse. The Mirror, Fairy Energy, and over here you have Man and Ship. Okay, so let me connect to your story. So I feel that for the people who picked this group, what your soul wants to bring to your consciousness regarding your past life love story, this love story doesn't feel like it belongs to the love story between you and your true love, or you and your divine counterpart. I feel that this story is very much about some of the patterns or dynamics that you may have had in your past lives. I feel that the story involves you actually falling in love with mirrors or reflections of your divine counterpart, falling in love with people that actually remind you of your divine counterpart, but who may not actually be your divine counterpart. So there might be some qualities or some external attributes of these people that you meet, and these qualities or attributes remind you of your divine counterpart, or psychically you feel that your divine counterpart has these qualities. So in your past lives, or there might have been certain patterns in your current love relationship, I feel that you actually put in some, some of your energy and your love and your resources into these people, and it has caused you actually some heartbreak or disappointment in your romantic relationships and your romantic partnerships. Okay, so I have to say that I feel like what I'm about to recount is more of a karmic relationship, or the pattern of your karmic relationships. So this is not so much going to be a love story. And if you're really hoping to listen to a love story that is between you and your divine counterpart, I would advise that you go back to the selection to the beginning of the video and take a look at the first two shells and see which shell actually appeals to you. If both shells do not resonate, then I feel like perhaps your love story is going to be revealed to you at some other time. But this story that I feel drawn to reveal to you right now, and which, seems to want to come into your consciousness, is definitely not a love story. It's more of a story that you may have had with several different karmic partners. So this is definitely a departure from the original intentions of the video. But as these cards have come out, I feel like perhaps for some people who feel drawn to continue listening to the story, there might be some meaning or something helpful that they can take away from it. So pause this video and see if you want to continue going on. I haven't fully connected yet to the story, so I'm going to do so, but you can right now always choose to close this video, go back and reselect, see if the previous two groups would appeal to you more. Okay, so for those of you who've stayed, I'm going to continue connecting to your story and see if there's any message that wants to come through, or the details of the story. So as I have mentioned earlier, this story involves or this pattern that I'm about to recount involves you falling in love with people that remind you of your divine counterpart. This has happened in your past lives. This has happened in your current life. This is not to say that you haven't met your true love before, but this is a pattern that you want to be conscious of, because I feel that this pattern has contributed to you feeling very unhappy, very disappointed in your love relationships, and perhaps feeling like you're losing faith in true love, or losing faith in the love that your divine counterpart has for you. And your angels, and I wanted to say the fairies, want to tell you that this is not the case. Your divine counterpart definitely loves you, but you have been putting your love into the wrong people. These are people that you have mistaken for your divine counterpart. Um, I feel that this energy that I'm describing, I feel like this is definitely the masculine energy. So you are the masculine energy, or you identify as the masculine energy. I feel that for this masculine energy, whose story I am going to recount, this person has been through a lot of difficult times in his life. So I don't feel that he has come from an environment. So I don't think that you, in those lifetimes or currently, um, you were coming from an environment where there was a lot of love, a lot of nurturing that was given to you. I feel that you had to use your intellect, you had to use your abilities, your prowess, to really get the things you want in the world, to survive in the world, to have some kind of standing, to have some kind of position. So the value that you placed on yourself, that people gave to you, it wasn't so much based on love, it wasn't based on kinship, but rather based on your strength and your abilities. This is the background that you're coming from when you get into these kinds of messy relationships with people who are not your true love, but that you mistake for your true love. So again, with the Hermit card, I feel that for you, in those lifetimes, you were very much feeling alone, like you had to guide yourself. You have to find guidance on your own and feel your way in the world, feel your path for yourself. Um, it I feel like you were very isolated and lonely deep inside. So there's really a part of you that feels very closed off from other people, disconnected from other people, or hidden from other people, despite any external success that you may have. Um, I feel like definitely some of you were very able you were very able and very talented, and you were able to succeed and find a place for yourself in the world. But again, this is based on using more egocentric energies, or more fighting energies, energies that emphasize strength and ability rather than the heart space. I feel that there was definitely for you within a strong belief and a strong faith in the divine. You were probably religious, or you were very spiritual, and you were definitely looking out all the time, hoping to find your true love, hoping for that person. I feel that you intuitively knew that your divine counterpart has true love for you, but because you were not able to find this kind of love or this feeling in your environment, um, you were hoping to understand it, to experience it for yourself through that person that you're looking for. And that is why it was so easy for all these people who have, bits and pieces of who your true love is, who have these attributes. It was so easy for these people to come into your life and for you to immediately be attracted to them and be very drawn to them and to mistake them for your true love. And I feel that this dynamic has caused you a lot of wound, a lot of sadness, and a lot of disappointment. So here with these cards, I feel like you were always looking out for different. Okay, let me bring them up. You were always looking out for different new things that could come to you, changes, new situations. So really hoping for um, life to bring to you your true love, your true divine counterpart. You were always looking out there for that person. And it's not as if the universe didn't want to bring that person to you, but because I feel that for you in those lifetimes, you were so ingrained in the customs of society, the rules that you grew up with, and the way that you saw the world, the way that you felt the world was supposed to be, that it was a frustrating process for you, because in your heart you were not able to assess those feelings and understand them. So you were not really able to feel for the right person within and actually connect with the right person. And I see this as really that masculine figure. So you may have been a masculine person when you were experiencing these feelings in your past life, or you may have identified more as the masculine energy. I feel that definitely you were somebody who was very established, and you had wealth and status. You were definitely a catch for many people. So it wasn't difficult for you to attract partners, but repeatedly, I feel that you felt disappointed in love and relationships, and you had a habit of looking outwards towards new people who could come into your life, who might be the person that you were looking for. So there's definitely an absence in the feminine energy through these cards, and in this story, in the energies that I'm feeling, an absence of the feminine in the physical human sense. I feel that the feminine was definitely given a more mystical kind of role, or a mystical symbol in the psyche of the masculine. So you probably as the masculine saw the feminine energy or your divine counterpart, your feminine divine counterpart, as somebody that was very otherworldly, that was beyond reach, that was outside of this world. So there's a sense that you might have been the kind of man that kept chasing after, beautiful illusions of beautiful ideals of what your perfect woman would be like, would look like, but you never really find her in the people that came into your life. And that was because you weren't connected at the heart level to this person, and you were not able to access these feelings because of the environment that you were in and the way that you were brought up. But again, as I've mentioned, you were somebody who was religious or spiritual in those lifetimes. I feel that you definitely projected your perfect woman, your perfect divine feminine onto feminine figures that existed in myths and legends or in religious texts and religious stories. So these women were always perfect, always, out of the world, always beyond your reach for you. And even though it may feel like you were, very demanding in your choice of partners, in your demanding towards the women that you wanted in your life, but I feel that inside, when you are yearning for this feminine energy, when you're yearning for this figure, you're actually connecting at a very, very, very high level with your divine feminine energy, and you're trying to get healing from her at that level, in that space where I feel like this divine feminine energy, your feminine divine counterpart, they may have a lot of connections with the fairy realm. So outwardly, you may have always been searching for this person and projecting your ideals or your wishes or your fantasy onto people who were not real, people who didn't exist, or characters from imaginary worlds. But you were trying to access the divine feminine energy of your counterpart, hoping that you can connect with her that way, hoping that you can understand what it means to love, what it means to feel loved that way. And I feel that the fairy realm, the the pure energies of the earth, they were definitely sensing the hole that is in your heart, the gaps that was in your energetic fields, and they were sending a lot of healing and blessing towards you. So I'm really getting a sense from this card that the masculine figure has always been looking for somebody who had has a very pure energy, a very pure loving energy, because in the world that they were in the world that they knew, um, they weren't able to connect with that kind of energy, and the energies that they were connecting with definitely didn't fulfill them at the heart's level. And if I have to put this in a more simple way, I feel that this masculine energy, this man that you were definitely not in the position for a romantic relationship under the circumstances that you were in or the psychological state that you were in. I feel that you were needing a lot of healing from the natural world to help you fill up that gap in your heart, but which psychically you could sense that there was a gap, you could sense that something was missing, but you weren't really able to energetically fill up that gap. So let's take a look at why your soul wanted to bring up this message for you. If you've stayed to listen to this message, what significance they would like to pinpoint, and what is the takeaway message from this story. This is definitely not a very happy story. So let's see what is really behind all this. Okay, as I was shuffling, I am also getting an additional message here. So, in the vibration that the masculine energy was in the vibration that you were in, there's a feeling that your divine feminine counterpart couldn't join you because the vibration was too low. The divine feminine, it feels like they existed in a higher vibration. And so the only way you could access the energy was through the fairy energy, the energies of nature, energies that represented things that were otherworldly. So energies that didn't feel real and tangible and human. Um, and that is why there was so much loneliness in your heart, and you just kept searching all over for that feminine figure. Okay. So here you have self-initiation and earth angel. I feel that the reason why your soul wanted to bring to you and into your consciousness the story or the archetype of the story is because they want you to be aware of this dynamic that has happened in your past life, and to be aware of this dynamic possibly happening in this lifetime, or it might have already happened, where you fell in love with people that you thought were your divine counterpart, but you ended up being very heartbroken or disappointed. They want you to not give up hope just because you've had these bad experiences, because these experiences do not reflect the true relationship, the true love relationship that you have with your divine counterpart. These were not people who were really vibrating with you at the level of true love, at the level where you and your divine counterpart meet. They want you to make a choice here and understand that there is no judgment in any of the choices that you may have made or that you make. So, first of all, there is no judgment in having chosen the wrong partners, fallen in love, and giving love to the wrong partners, because the important thing was that you loved and you shared your love. And the second thing is that this love that you've given out to the world, this is the kind of love that is filling up in your hearts, that is going to help fill up your hearts, the holes in your hearts where you feel that there were empty, gaps. There were gaps that you were not able to fill up. Your upbringing, your environment wasn't able to allow you to fill up. And so, through loving others in a way, you were trying to also discover what it means to love, and this love gets returned back to you. It goes into your hearts to fill up your hearts. The choice then, right now, is knowing that some of the people that you've met, that you've given a lot of love to, either in this lifetime or in your past lives, they were not your divine counterpart. They were not people who could meet you at the level of true love. Knowing this now, would you want to continue directing your love towards them? Or you can also, instead choose to give that love to yourself instead, because either way, you're going to be able to fill up the holes, the gaps in your heart. You don't have to direct that love outwards. You can always direct that love inwards towards yourself. And being able to go into a place of lower vibration and still remember what true love is, and still want to look for that true love, that feeling of love in your heart. This is proof that you are an earth angel. You're somebody who would feel more natural at a higher vibration, but for certain soul missions or soul purposes, or for certain lessons that you wish to learn, you have willingly gone into places or dimensions or eras of lower vibration that are difficult for you, that are not as natural for you. And that is why you were not able to find true connections in the people around you and with the people around you. And this is what your soul wants you to know. For the masculine energy within you, so I feel like I could either really be speaking to you as a man in a past life, or the masculine energy that is still currently in you in this present lifetime. There might be a sense that your feminine counterpart is very far away, very out of reach for you. But the message that wants to reach you today is to not focus on how far away she is, how far away that feminine figure is, but to learn to love yourself like you can imagine your feminine would love you. And when you are able to do that, you would be able to come into an energetic space, an energetic knowing within yourself and in your mental space too, that the feminine energy is actually not that far away. The divine feminine energy of your divine counterpart is actually not far away at all, and that they can definitely join you in your reality where you are right now. But you've got to learn to direct your love back into yourself. So I'm speaking to the masculine here. You've got to love yourself. Imagine for yourself what your feminine energy is like, how they would love you, the man. I am definitely addressing a wound in the masculine energy here, a wound in the man here, where you mistake, or you are not able to fully understand what it means for a woman to love a man, what it means for you to be worthy and deserving of love. And I feel that in this lifetime, it is encouraged for you to continue feeling and exploring the depth of the love that the divine feminine can have for the divine masculine, the love that the feminine energy can have for the masculine energy. And this is going to be way beyond what you've experienced before in past lives or in your current life. I feel that this love is going to keep expanding, to keep rising higher and higher until you reach the level of what it truly is there. This journey doesn't have to involve you walking alone. It can involve you walking with other people, or even with your divine counterpart. But the important thing is that right now you have to learn to love yourself that way first, as the masculine energy, so that you won't be swayed by energies that do not love you as truly and deeply, so that you won't be meeting these other energies at the level that they are, so that you will be rising in your energies towards the level of truer and deeper love. And you will see that the love that can be there for you is going to be beyond your wealth, your status, what you can offer for the feminine is going to be so much more than that. Okay, so group 3, I hope that the message wasn't too confusing. I hope that it was helpful for you and it was interesting. Please take care, and thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in my other videos. Bye!